Welcome back to Sport on 7. I'm Tom Bushell. You can find me on Twitter if you wish. It's at Tom Bushell UAE. Now let's continue our special focus on the 2013 Formula One Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now into year number 5 at Yas Marina circuit. How and why has it become so popular? I caught up with Maurice Hamilton, an F1 broadcaster, writer and commentator who knows a thing or two about what a good race is all about.
Maurice, thank you very much for your time this evening. It's a great weekend in Abu Dhabi, isn't it? And you're a man who's covered all the races and for years gone by. What is it about Abu Dhabi that's so special?
Well, you can hear it in the background already. It's just a superb buzz. I mean, races are about atmosphere as much as what's happening on the track. They're about the enthusiasm of the people. They're about the organisation. They're about the surroundings that you're in. And Abu Dhabi's got the lot, and it has had it from day one. That's the nice thing, you know. You go to many new races, and we've had quite a few in recent years, and they kind of disappoint a little bit because they're either not ready or after a while they tail off, the enthusiasm tails off. Here, it's just got ramped up and up and up every year. It's been really good. We've been, certainly as Formula One as a whole loves coming here because it's well organised, everything's done well, it's easy to work at.
In terms of actual calendar races, you look at the traditional ones like Silverstone and many of the European races, and they have a special buzz and history about them. Abu Dhabi doesn't have that history, but already it seems to have placed itself on the calendar, and it brings its own thing to the party. So even though it doesn't have that tradition, it brings something else which is very unique.
Indeed, I mean, you're right. You know, as you go to Monza, it's different to Silverstone, Italy against Britain, and you know what to expect. Coming here, we didn't know what to expect. But what we found is just this wonderful place, and it's the only race, of course, where it starts at dusk and finishes in darkness. We've got a night race in Singapore, daylight races everywhere else. So again, this is something rather special. And when we saw the spotlights and the floodlights, how it all works, the place just looked right from the start. And that's important because there's some, I won't mention any names, there's some we dread going to because they just don't have anything. It's lax atmosphere, it lacks feeling. But here, I can't believe this is the 5th year. I don't know where the time's gone. It's gone by so fast. And it's been great because we've enjoyed every single one. And also we've had good races as well.
Absolutely, of course. Lewis Hamilton winning a couple of years ago. Seb winning his first title here as well when he pipped Alonso to it on this very track. Right. It's had some fantastic moments already in its 5 years, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean, the 2010 race was just amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. 3 guys going to the grid, maybe 4 mathematically, with a chance of winning the championship. And you didn't know who was going to win it until near the end, and all sorts of things were kicking off. That really helped cement Abu Dhabi's reputation in the Formula One field because you've got to have that as well. You know, you've got to have a bit of history. You've got to talk about, when you talk about winning a championship, your driver likes to, we talk to Sebastian Vettel about here, he immediately says, well, it brings such fantastic memories because he was kind of the outsider when he won the championship here, and that again adds more flavour to it. So to do it in a nice place, which this is, just was the icing on the cake, really.
You're the man on the inside of F1. Let's just quickly touch on a couple of big stories at the moment. Ross Brawn won, of course, rumoured to be leaving Mercedes at the end of the year. Kimi Raikkonen as well. Has he been paid or has he not been paid? Who knows? But what are your takes on those?
Well, with Ross Brawn, it seems that there are political moves going on behind the scenes, which we, the media, are not party to. My understanding is he doesn't particularly want to go. He's very happy at Mercedes, particularly as there's a big change in regulations next year, and he wants to oversee that. And my feeling also is that a number of people inside the team respect him and like him. He's got massive experience. He's won championships with Ferrari, with Benetton before that, with his own team Brawn in 2009. So, you know, they don't want to lose him, but for whatever reason, it looks like he might have to go, which I think will be terribly sad. Kimi Raikkonen, he hasn't been paid. He's been quite clear about it. He has not received any money, and it doesn't matter that it's a lot of money. The fact is, he's doing his job, he's been doing what he's allegedly been paid for, and he's not doing it. He's unhappy, and I think he can understand that. So Kimi is very outspoken. From a media point of view, he's a delight because he's given us a great story. But the fact is, he hasn't been paid. And I have to be perfectly honest and say, I was surprised when he turned up, because Kimi's the sort of guy, if you don't pay him, he might not come. He'll just go away and not come back and think, well, what the heck? And he knows, of course, that Lotus, his team, desperately need him because they're fighting for second place in the Constructors' Championship. And believe me, that's worth a lot of money. In second, third, fourth places, there's a huge difference talking about millions of dollars. So they need him. So, you know, there's a lot, it's a very interesting story, nice little backdrop story here.
And also, you touched on it there, of course, the new regulations for next season, finally from me. With the likes of those teams that develop their own engines, Mercedes and Ferrari, already early on before next season, is it those teams who will have the edge next season?
Yes, Tom, you have to say that they are looking the favourites because the rules are very complicated. The engines and the management systems on the engines and the energy recovery systems they've got are really interesting and very complex. And the key to next year is about how you package all that in your car. So if your team makes the car as well as the engine, you've got a head start. And that applies to just 2 of the 11 teams here. That's Ferrari and Mercedes. So you have to say, at this early stage, they're looking good. Beyond that, I haven't a clue.
Maurice, thank you so much for your time today.
I also spoke to Faisal Al Sawali from Abu Dhabi Motorsports about what goes into putting on the show. That is the Formula One weekend at Yas Marina circuit.
Well, Faisal, what a weekend this is, of course. This is what we all look forward to in the motorsport season in the UAE. It is the big event that everyone wants to come to, and it's a fantastic venue, isn't it?
That's very nice to hear. It is, yeah, as I hear from the F1 personnel, the teams, everyone, they just love coming here, and it's very good to hear. Like, it makes you feel proud.
What is it you enjoy about this weekend? Obviously seeing tourists and residents of the UAE here enjoying themselves and all the events that go on. What is it that you love?
It's like, to us, it's like Eid. So you know how in Christmas your house is empty, and then when Christmas comes, everyone gathers, the whole family comes. This is it. You see people you haven't seen for 365 days because you only see them once a year, and that is the special thing about it. The people that you start recognizing, and then seeing this beautiful venue full.
And Abu Dhabi always plays host to a great Grand Prix as well. Whether or not the championship has been wrapped up, there's always a great race here. Let's not forget last season, Kimi Raikkonen winning, and that fantastic race that was. So you always get a great race on the tarmac here.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky with that. The races have always been great here. But the other thing we're trying to do is we're trying to introduce something new every year. So people will eventually get used to something and get bored of it. So every year there is something new. This year we have Abu Dhabi Hill, which is the general admission ticket. You have a view on one of the fastest corners of the track, and it really makes you appreciate an F1 car and how fast it can go around corners. We have the Yas Marina Tower hospitality area, which is the highest point where you can see the circuit, and the concerts, of course, have been quite special this year. They cater to different segments of people. So we try to make it better, or at least different every year, so people keep coming.
Already we're looking forward to the 6th year in 2014 to see what is new and different then, but it's fantastic so far. Faisal, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. I'm sure you'll be impressed next year as well.
Interesting year. It's been our best year ever. So in terms of occupancy, in terms of entertainment, you know, hospitality suites, everything going on around the track, it's actually been our best year ever. So 5th year is it's all moving in the right direction. In that 1st and 2nd year, we were learning what Formula One really means to the destination. But I think now, you know, the coordination between all the various government departments, the private entities, is fantastic. And whether it's transport, whether it's the police, it really is a one team effort, and it really shows. I mean, things really work, and I think that the feedback I'm getting from those that have been to many of these events around the world, that this is really one of the top events because of the setting, because of the track, the marina, the way it all works. It's easy to get to the track, it's easy to get away from the track at the end of the day. It just all works really, really well. Well, it's early days yet. I mean, today is mainly the pit lane walk. A few people coming back from that have really enjoyed it. There's some real die-hard F1 fans out there as well, but they've really enjoyed it. And again, just they're looking forward to another great race. You know, everyone is hoping that it is a great race. With the championship's been won, but there's still a bit to play for.
Across the weekend, we also managed to catch up with the Lotus F1 team, including Romain Grosjean, who spoke to City 7's very own Abdul Hanif.
It's always a good venue. It starts by day, finish by night. It's a great show. Always a lot of fans around, so I think it's one of the nicest venues of the year. Facilities are very, very nice. And all happy to be here. For sure, last year was a good race for us. Kimi won it, and we'll try to achieve the same this year. But yeah, we'll do our best. Every Grand Prix is for me the same in terms of points and winning the race. But there is some that you prefer than others, and I always like to come here. You wake up in the morning, put shorts and t-shirts and go for it. It's always sunny, nice, and as I said, the place is pretty cool, facilities are awesome. And yeah, always good parties around, so I think the fans and the sponsors love it. Well, expectation is still to try to do our best and obviously get to second in the drivers' championship, in the constructors' championship. Sorry, but yeah, that's 3 races to go that we have to take one by one and do our best in every of them.
The track is really spectacular. The layout and the design, every driver loves it. And then, you know, the teams and the guys of the team, mechanics and staff told me that the facilities are perfect to work here. And so hotels are really close, the city is wonderful, there is the sea, always blue sky, so perfect world to race in. So we are really happy, and we hope to have, like Team Lotus, a good result for this weekend. To be honest, in the last few championship was always incredibly important, because there was always here the battle for the championship, no? And so for us is one of the stages that is counting really a lot during the year. And then, you know, at the moment last year was the first was the only night race. This year there are 2, and there are Singapore and here in Abu Dhabi, and you know, it's something special because the atmosphere is different, and the people on the grandstand, they can enjoy it more, so it makes the event even bigger and more enjoyable. There is really good fun, so it's always full during the race weekend, and we really appreciate it.
Now, we'll be back on Sport on 7 shortly with more from Yas Island and Chris McCarty. We're back in just a moment.